Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today's Friday, September 16th. Welcome to the show. I hope that you're all doing well. I'd like to thank you all for being here. It's wonderful to share my mornings with you. I'm having my cup of tea. I've got a cup of lemon ginger today. I hope that I've got your tea or coffee, settle down, and let's have a quick chat about what's going on in the world. And also, I've got a couple of stories that hopefully will give you some ideas about the weekend. So let's just get caught up first on some news. Now, in the UK, Britain has approved the Hinkley Nuclear Plant construction. This has been something that's been under discussion for some time, and there's been a little bit of controversy about it, but they did approve it yesterday. Now, the situation is that this is a first nuclear plant that's being built in the southwest of England in over a generation. It's been about, 1985 was when the last one was built. This one is going to basically replace all the coal, it's going to replace some of the coal plants that are being phased out, and of course this helps the economy and also the air, the quality of air, but it doesn't help the people that work in that industry. So there's been a little bit of dialogue about that. The project will be financed by France primarily. Now, France is a country that depends heavily on nuclear plants for their energy, so they're very experienced. And the other contributing financial support is coming from China. A third of the plan is going to be sponsored by China. Now, this has, of course, been a point of contention for some time, but it was voted in yesterday that the plant will be built and the project is going to go. In the United States, Hillary Clinton is back on the campaign trail. She says she's feeling better, and in fact walked into a campaign meeting yesterday to the song "I Feel Good." So she's back. Donald Trump is out talking about his economic plans and his promise to create 25 million jobs over the next 10 years if he's elected. He released his health reports, and haven't heard all the details, but it was mentioned that he is considered borderline obese, but I'm sure we'll be hearing more about all of this over the coming days, so just stay tuned to your local channels that are covering this in a lot of detail. Now, in Europe, in Bratislava, Slovakia today, the EU leaders are meeting for the first time without the UK. Since they voted to leave the EU, they've now they're getting together to talk about things that are important to them. Things like border control, the economy, terrorism, all kinds of things that are they're needing to find a united front on. So that's in Bratislava in Slovakia today. Now, in the United States, again, I wanted to just have a chat with you about a story that caught my eye. We've been talking for some months about the fact that there's a lot of people trying to leave their countries in war-torn areas and where there's economic challenge. So they want to start a better life somewhere in the world. And a lot have been coming to Europe. Now, the European countries many of them are struggling with their own economies and just not in a position to help. So they are obviously looking for help. Now, yesterday, or a few days ago, President Obama made the announcement that he is going to increase the number of refugees and migrants coming into the United States by 30% next year. And so I'm interested in your thoughts on this. I know a lot of women in our community are in the United States. What's your thinking about bringing more people from abroad into the country? I'd love you to put your comments in the section below. There's no wrong answer to that. There's no wrong point of view. Everyone's is entitled to feel the way they do, and we just welcome the conversation. So please leave your comments below about the refugee migrant situation and how you feel about President Obama extending the numbers. I think that's an interesting conversation. Now, I want to talk to you about something that may be important to you, but it's about your skin and about how we feel about the skin that we live in. We here on 60 and Me have a rule. We do not talk about anti-aging. We know it doesn't work. It's just not real. There is no such thing. But we do talk about positive aging and about feeling good. in your body and you know, and looking the way you want, feeling the way that you want. And a lady called Cheryl Scott, she has a website called fierceentrepreneur.com, and she is really great. She's got some fun articles on her site, and she did an article about loving the skin that you're in, and gave a couple of tips on what you can do to, you know, to just make your skin feel and look okay. And they're very simple, basic things that we probably all know, but here's a reminder from Cheryl. So first thing is to clean your makeup brushes. You know, we use them all the time, and they do get a little dirty, so we need to wash those every day, she says. So that's a good practice to get into. Also, wash your face before you go to sleep. You know, our moms told us this. Well, always wash your face, never sleep with your makeup on. But there's a good reason, and that is just simply that we live in fairly toxic air, and bacteria, germs get all over our face and body during the day. So just wash your face with just a light cleanser. I always use coconut oil. I put a little bit of coconut oil and then just wash it off. So it's another idea. The next thing is to sanitize your cell phone. You know, I used to manage a telesales group, and we used to always, you know, we used real phones, and we used to spray it at the end of the day. But it's important because apparently, I don't know how they did this research, but they found that your cell phone has more germs on it than a toilet bowl. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but it's just basically a good habit to get into, cleaning your phone with just a little bit of cleanser, and even just water, just wiping it off. The fourth thing she talks about is getting good sleep. You know, we've talked about this quite a bit, and I think that we all know how sleep affects our mood and our energy, our point of view about life. It's kind of a myth that we need less sleep as we get older. I mean, some people do, but you don't need as much sleep. But on the whole, it's good for your body and your skin. And so Cheryl reminds us that we should, you know, do things to help get a better sleep. You know, keep the bedroom cool and dark. Turn off all the electronics, you know, an hour or so before you go to sleep. Don't eat don't drink fizzy drinks or caffeine drinks, you know, a little bit before sleeping. Just create a ritual for sleeping that is conducive to good sleep, and that will help your skin. Also, Arian Poole actually mentioned this, and so did Cheryl, about your pillowcase, keeping it clean. And also, Arian suggested if you can get a silk pillowcase, not only does it feel great to sleep on, but it actually helps you with those little lines you get on your face when you wake up in the morning. So a silk pillowcase, treat yourself. Maybe that's something to do. Oh, and wear sunglasses. That helps with the wrinkles around your eyes. So those are some tips for keeping your skin looking and, you know, glowing, and how you feel inside. Now, I've got a topic here I wanted to close with, which is really important to me, and maybe to some of you as well. I would consider myself a lifelong learner. I love learning about all kinds of things. I'm always reading and researching articles for us on 60andMe, but I also just like to read about topics of interest to me. And I don't know about you, but I've always had this fantasy about going back to school. Actually, we just had my high school reunion in Detroit, and I didn't go, but it reminded me of just the fun that we had in high school, and how being in a group is really cool. But there's other ways to do it these days. Now, this article I'm going to talk about is by Nancy Colomer, and it's in the Next Avenue website. Nancy is a great woman focused on helping older women in their job search after 50. And I interviewed her a couple of years ago, and we had a wonderful time, and she gave some great advice. But she now, in this article, talks about alternatives to getting a commercial degree. There's other ways that we can be lifelong learners and enjoy discovering more about the things we love. So here's what she says, and there's 4 different ideas here. Now, as I mentioned, we love being in classrooms with real people, but sometimes that isn't possible. And there's a phenomenon, it's called the MOOG, attending a MOOG, M-O-O-G, and that stands for Massively Open Online Course. These are courses that you learn online, so you can study in your pajamas. You don't need to go drive anywhere, go into any college. And a lot of these MOOC courses are free, and they're being offered by schools that you would pay a lot of money to go to. I mean, Yale, Harvard, MIT. These colleges are now putting their courses online. So you can just log on and watch them. and watch them for no cost. And everything from medieval history to photography to psychology, social skills, you name it, there's a course on it. And some, brain enhancement, lots of cool subjects. Some might lead to a certificate or some kind of education for getting a job, if that's still on your mind. But if you just want to learn about an aspect of life that you always were curious about, these courses are really great. And they've got they moved the learning population from about 160,000, I think back in the early days, to like over 35 million today. So it's really fun. When you join one of these courses, you often see they show a map of where everybody in the world is who's online studying this course. It's amazing. The whole world is covered. So you're in a big community, a big classroom online. Now, she talks about the ones that are most popular and ones that I'm familiar with. Now, there's Udemy, is Udemy, Udemy. Coursera is brilliant, and also she mentioned edX. And if you want, we'll put the link to this this entire article by Nancy, so you can dig in a bit deeper. But those are the three. Just go up there and check them out. And some courses are totally free. There are some that are a little, $100 or a little bit of money, but you can make your decision about what you can afford and what's your priority. Now, the other thing is there are other online programs. This is the second thing. These are websites like lynda.com that offer online tutorials. A lot of their online tutorials at lynda.com, it's Lynda, are about technology. So, for example, if you're looking to start a website or a blog, you want to learn a bit about WordPress, or you want to learn about some other aspect of technology, Lynda is great for that. So, there's 5,000 courses on all kinds of topics. Udemy, by the way, I'll mention it again, is also a great one for just fun programs. And they have some of them do cost money, but I will warn you with Udemy, always check for coupons, because the course may cost $100, but then they have coupons. You have to search for them online that bring it down to $10, $12. So that's another good option. There's 12 million plus students studying on these classes, on these other online destinations. Another thing she mentions is to look for industry associations. Now, for example, if you want to do a program on travel, say you want to do some travel, learning about travel expertise, just type in association and travel, and then you'll find the Association of Online Travel Agents. Or if you type in association engineering, you might find an engineering association if that's something that you're interested in. So associations are a great way to learn online too. The fourth thing she suggests are community colleges. These have always, in my mind, been the sort of the hidden secret, that they offer such great programs. They are a place you can go in person and study, and you often meet people your age. So many people over 50 go back to school and they go to a community college. Number one, they're local. Number two, they're usually inexpensive. So that's the fourth idea that Nancy gives. I just think it's a brilliant world that we live in, that we can continue our education in topics that we're curious about, basically for free. And so I hope that you're inspired, maybe this weekend, to go up and check out some of these sites that Nancy suggests, and just have a go. And I would also throw in my fifth one, which is TED. TED.com, TED.com, one of my absolute favorites. It's not an online program site for programs or courses, but people talk at these events around the world, and then they're put online about all kinds of topics. I find them incredibly interesting. So that's another place to go. So I hope I've inspired you to become a lifelong learner. I think it's great for older women. We have a little bit more time perhaps, and we can dig deeper. So before I close, just a quick reminder again, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining Mornings with 60andMe. Tell your friends. Go up to 60andme.com/mornings and just sign up to get the news first. I'd love to have you here every day. And also, I have a question for you. And it's related to the last topic of online and lifelong learning. And that is, would you be interested in taking an online course? And if so, what subject would you like to study? Just think, would you like to take an online course? And what course would you like to study? Leave your comments in the section below. I'd love to have a conversation. So have a fantastic Friday, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll be back here tomorrow. So please join us tomorrow for Mornings with 60 and Me. Bye for now.